All right. So there's been some discussion lately with some of the people on the X talking about why don't men just create men's spaces so they can have men's spaces for themselves. And somebody recently posted a good explanation of that. Rotary International Club's 1987 U.S. Supreme Court case, Rotary International versus Rotary Club of Duarte. Outcome: in 1987, the Supreme Court ruled that Rotary International could not exclude women from membership, leading to the integration of women into Rotary clubs across the country. This case set a precedent for other male-only organizations. So there was a Supreme Court case in 1987. Justice Powell, I'm not old enough to remember who he was. I was 7 at the time of this case. Wrote the majority opinion, but Justice Rehnquist and Justice Scalia concurred. That the law in California, I think this was over the law in California that said that you can't discriminate based on sex, and a whole bunch of other things, but that the law was not unconstitutional. Nowadays, almost 40 years looking back, it's hard to make that argument, and it's hard to say that that was actually good for our country. All right, so anyways, you go to Wikipedia, type in men's organizations, list of men's organizations. If I could type, we would be in business. So I typed in list of men's organizations, and it says, do you mean list of women's organizations? Come on. See how this is loaded? Oh my gosh. There's not even list of men's organizations. There's not even a Wikipedia. Is there really not even a Wikipedia? I've got to be doing this wrong. List of men's organizations. I've got to be doing this wrong. Did you mean list of women's organizations? List of designated terrorist groups, list of LGBTQ rights organizations, list of general fraternities. Maybe that's one. List of... Go away. List of wealthiest religious organizations, list of social fraternities and sororities, list of religious organizations, youth organizations, UFO organizations, temperance organizations, list of secret police organizations, list of LGBT-related organizations and conferences. Oh my goodness. All right, well, in the first 20 results, it does not list list of X-Men members, list of sex worker organizations. Okay, there apparently appears to be zero listing of men's organizations on Wikipedia. But if you go to list of women's organizations, let's see. Oh my goodness. Boom, 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 boom. They have it listed by country, by continent, United States. Hokey smokes, man. That's a lot. African American Women for Reproductive Freedom, founded 1990. Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, founded 1908. American Association for Women Radiologists, Association for Women for University Women, Equal Rights, Heritage Girls, Legion Auxiliary. How many are there here? I'm going to copy and paste it. Oh my goodness, this is pages and pages. All right, just in the United States. Just in the United States, there are 105. There are 105 women's organizations listed in the United States. And there's not even a listing for men's. That doesn't even count international, okay? That doesn't even count international. That's just the United States. There's another, what is that? 70? All All right, so 105 plus... Ooh. Okay, so international and United States women's organizations comes out to 169 women's organizations listed on Wikipedia. And there is not even a list of men's organizations on Wikipedia. Let's see. Let's look at that list of women's organizations. List of fraternal organizations. We've got the Junior League, Junior Mints. Freemasonry. Well, that used to be men only. That's not men only anymore because they have Job's Daughters International. I guess they have kind of a carve out where the women are in a different group than the men. I don't know. I'm not a Freemason. Oddfellows, fraternal service organizations, Kiwanis International. That was organization began to accept women as its members in 1987, same year as the U.S. Supreme Court case. So that was men's only. Rotary Club was men's only. Rotary International. How about the Mooses? Loyal Order of Moose. They had the Women of the Moose. So I guess that's the deal. You if you are a men's organization and you are forced to accept women, you just create a women's auxiliary called, Women of the Rotary. And so you have a little carve out for them. So I was of the belief that private clubs could choose their members, and apparently the U.S. Supreme Court says no. At least in 1987 they did. Let's see, Lions Club, 1987. Oh, Knights of Columbus. Well, there's one that women can't join. Women may participate. Women may participate in the Knights of Columbus through the Columbiettes and other female auxiliaries, and boys may join the Columbian Squires. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's about it. If you have a men's only group, you have to carve out a women's auxiliary group in order to comply, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, you want to know why men can't be men anymore? Why men aren't men anymore? It's because we're not allowed to be men anymore. We're told everywhere, at the workplace, in our organizations, fraternal, social, professional organizations, that we have to cater to women and do what women want. And so you end up with a bunch of neutered men, because every organization that includes women is going to, in its leadership especially, is going to cater to the most emotionally immature woman in the group, because she is more likely to raise a stink and embarrass herself and others and make the group all around uncomfortable, more so than anyone else in the group is willing to do. And so they have the choice to either exclude her from the group, invite her to leave, because we don't ever tell people that they're fired. We invite them to leave, or we don't renew their membership. But most groups are catered to that, to the most emotionally immature woman in the group, till she self-destructs and makes it all uncomfortable, and half the women will side with her and say, oh, well, and excuse her behavior, and the other half of the women just kind of ignore it and move on. But they don't actually let men be men. That's the point. Men are not allowed to be men. Not at home, not on TV, not in the groups, not in social groups. We only have the opportunity to have unofficial groups and organizations. So we can't even form organizations on our own. Maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe there's a lot more to it that I don't know about. But anyways, we have an issue. Men can't create their own spaces, according to the 1987 Supreme Court decision, which, God willing, will be overturned someday. Maybe that's one of the targets we should put in our sights, is figuring out and really making concerted, tongue tie, maybe make a really concerted effort to try and start challenging these men's groups things, especially considering that the country was founded by a men's group. with men in charge. Seems like a pretty straightforward shot. And we know that Antonin Scalia, supposedly. Antonin Scalia. Yeah. Was okay with squishing some things around about the Constitution in order to achieve certain ends. Like by not participating in purchasing somebody else's thing, you are actually affecting interstate commerce. Give me a break. Get me a shovel. That was not constitutional at all. By withholding from interstate commerce, you are affecting interstate commerce, basically forcing you to buy somebody else's pot instead of growing your own and smoking it. Doesn't matter what your issue is on the pot thing. I don't think anybody should be doing drugs or smoking pot ever. But that was, come on, Antonin Scalia, that was a loser shot. Because that whole thing screwed up a lot of other things constitutionally with regard to the U.S. Supreme Court. And this being another one that you can't exclude women from membership. Well, freedom of association says you're free not to associate with some people. That's the other part of it. So political correctness strikes again. Anyhow, let's target that. Let's focus on that. Let's really try to challenge this law. What do we have to do in order to challenge this Supreme Court case and see if we can get it overturned? Because this is kind of nutty. This is not doing well for men. Men are not doing well in having no men's only spaces, unless women allow them to have their own men's only spaces. This is bad news. All right. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day.